Do you ignore your cat when they meow at you in the middle of the night because you assume they're just being needy or trying to wake you up for no reason? Most people do. They roll over, they close the door, they convince themselves it's just attention-seeking behavior that'll stop if they stay firm. But that nighttime meow isn't random noise. It's a specific message you've been trained to miss. 1. They're telling you they don't feel safe enough to sleep. You probably think your cat is just bored or being dramatic. So you ignore the meowing, or worse, you shut them out of the bedroom entirely. But here's what's really happening. Sleep is the most vulnerable state your cat will ever enter. In the wild, a sleeping cat is a target, and even though your home is safe, that instinct doesn't just disappear. When your cat meows at you in the middle of the night, they're not asking for food or play, they're performing a safety check. They're asking, are you still here? Are you still awake? Are you still protecting me while I'm defenseless? Most people don't realize that cats are hyper-aware of their surroundings when they sleep. They never fully let go. And if something feels off, if the house is too quiet, if you're not where they expect you to be, if their routine has been disrupted, they won't settle. That meow is them reaching out to make sure their safe person is still present. And every time you dismiss it as neediness, you're telling them they're on their own. That the one creature they trust most in the world isn't paying attention when they need reassurance the most. 2. They're recreating the one time you rewarded it. Think back. There was probably a night when your cat meowed and you gave in. Maybe you fed them. Maybe you opened the bedroom door. Maybe you got up and played with them for 5 minutes just to make it stop. And now you're frustrated because they won't stop doing it. But here's the truth. Your cat isn't manipulating you. They're just confused. A study from researchers at Sophia University in Tokyo found that domestic cats develop specific vocalizations based on what gets a response from their owners. Your cat learned that meowing at night works because you taught them it works. And now, when you ignore it, they're not being stubborn. They're repeating the exact behavior that once made you respond with love, and they don't understand why it suddenly stopped working. To them, nothing has changed. They're doing what they've always done, what you trained them to do. And the silence on your end doesn't feel like boundary setting to them. It feels like abandonment. So before you get angry at your cat for meowing at 3 a.m, ask yourself this: did I create this pattern? And if I did, is it fair to punish them for following it? 3. They're processing anxiety they absorbed from you during the day. You had a bad day. Maybe work was stressful. Maybe you were anxious or upset or just running on fumes. And you probably didn't think your cat noticed, but they did. Cats are emotional sponges. They pick up on your energy in ways you don't even register. And here's the part most people miss: they don't know what to do with it. So they hold it. All day long, your cat absorbs your stress, your frustration, your sadness, and at night, when the house finally goes quiet and there's nothing left to distract them, it comes out. Through them. That nighttime meow isn't just about your cat. It's about you. Research from the University of Lincoln found that cats are highly sensitive to their owners' emotional states and often mirror stress behaviors when their humans are anxious. Your cat is meowing because they're carrying something heavy, and they don't have any other way to release it. They can't talk about their day. They can't process it consciously. So it shows up as restlessness, as vocalization, as a need to be near you. And when you ignore it or get frustrated, you're not just dismissing their behavior. You're dismissing the emotional labor they've been doing for you all day without you even knowing. 4. They're trying to sync their schedule with yours and failing. Most people assume cats are naturally nocturnal, and that's just how it is. So when their cat is active at night, they accept it as inevitable. But that's not the full story. Cats are actually crepuscular, meaning they're most active at dawn and dusk. But over time, many cats try to adjust their rhythms to match their owner's schedule, and that adjustment doesn't always go smoothly. A study from the Cornell Feline Health Center found that cats living with humans often shift their activity patterns to align with their owner's routines, but the transition can create stress and confusion, especially at night. Your cat wants to be awake when you're awake. They want to sleep when you sleep. But their biology is fighting them, and that nighttime meow is the sound of that internal struggle. They're trying to stay on your clock because being near you matters more than their instincts. But they're exhausted. They're wired. They don't know whether to hunt or rest or stay alert. And the only thing that soothes that confusion is hearing your voice, knowing you're there, feeling like even though their body is betraying them, their person hasn't. 5. They're speaking in a language you taught them, then stopped understanding. Here's the thing that breaks my heart. You used to respond to every meow. When your cat was a kitten, or when you first brought them home, you paid attention. You talked back. You got up. You made them feel heard. And your cat learned something powerful. Meowing gets my human's attention. Meowing means connection. But now, months or years later, you've started tuning them out. Maybe because it became excessive. Maybe because you're tired. Maybe because you assumed they'd grow out of it. And now your cat is meowing at you in the middle of the night. And you're annoyed. But they're not being annoying. They're speaking the only human language they know. And you're the one who taught it to them. Cats don't naturally meow at each other as adults. They meow at humans. And the specific tone, the frequency, the intensity, all of that was shaped by you, by what you responded to, by what made you get up, or soften, or pay attention. And if this is hitting you right where it hurts, if you're realizing you've been ignoring a language you helped create, subscribe. Because this channel exists for people who are ready to stop guessing and start actually understanding what their cat has been trying to say all along. 6. They're asking you to witness their nighttime ritual. You think they just want food, or play, or to be let outside. But most of the time, that's not it. The nighttime meow isn't a demand. It's an invitation. Your cat has a whole world that comes alive when the house goes quiet. They patrol. They watch. They listen. They check the windows, the doors, the corners of rooms you don't even think about. And they want you to be part of it. Not to do anything. Just to be there. To witness. In the wild, cats are solitary hunters, but they still seek proximity to their chosen companions during vulnerable hours. And in your home, you are that companion. When your cat meows at you at night, they're not trying to disrupt your sleep. They're inviting you into the sacred, solitary world they only show you when the rest of the house is still. And if you get up, if you follow them, even for a moment, you'll notice something. They'll walk a few steps, then look back. They'll lead you somewhere. Not because there's a problem, but because they want to share it with you. The moonlight on the floor. The sound outside the window. The quiet of the house when it's just the two of you. That's not neediness. That's intimacy. 7. They're checking if you'll still answer when they're scared. Your cat seems fine during the day. Independent. Confident. Maybe even aloof. So you assume they don't need you at night. But night is different. Night is when the bravado drops. when the independence fades. When your cat is just a small animal in a big, dark house, and the only thing standing between them and that primal fear is you. That nighttime meow isn't casual, it's a test. Your cat is asking, if I call for you, will you come? If I'm scared, will you still show up? And here's the part that matters most, they'll remember your answer. Not consciously, not in words, but in their body, in their trust, in the way they move through the world. If you answer, even just with your voice, even without getting up, you're telling them something they'll carry forever. You're saying, yes, I'm here, even in the dark, even when you can't see me, even when you're afraid. I'm still here. And if you don't answer, they'll learn something too. They'll learn that when it matters most, when they're at their most vulnerable, they're alone. The nighttime meow isn't annoying. It's trust. And every time you answer it, you're telling your cat something they'll remember forever, that even in the dark, you're still there. That they're not just a pet you keep. They're someone whose fear you take seriously, whose voice you recognize, whose need for you is never too much. You're not just their owner, you're their entire safe place. And that meow, that's them making sure you still know it.